Hello, LEGO Island creators. It's time to add even more ways to give your players exciting mechanics in your island. With LEGO Bloom Tycoon, you'll be able to spawn props into the world and connect this functionality to the LEGO Quest system from the Action Adventure template or other Fortnite devices to develop rich gameplay. Whether you want them to slow down the oncoming enemies with obstacles or give them the ability to choose where their unlocked Tycoon decorations go, LEGO Bloom Tycoon is providing another layer of excitement. Let's jump into the new template and take a look at how the systems are configured. Let's start by taking a look at the LEGO Grid device. This is the backbone of the placement system in LEGO Bloom Tycoon. To use this, you have to have everything configured correctly. So if we select this and take a look at the Details tab, I'll just dock it over here. There's a few fields we need to have filled out. First, you'll notice that we have the input devices. These are the input triggers that handle the placement and the navigation of the UI. So these are really, really important. You can copy the input triggers directly from the template, or you can make your own. If you're doing a custom project, you can also go to the Bloom Tycoon docs and just copy the configuration if you want to use ours. The most important part of this is actually the button grid toggle. This is a conditional button that will activate the system only if the player is holding the key item. So checking here, we can see that the item definition we have set is the patchwork tool. We chose this because it made the most sense for placing plants and things like that, but you can use any item definition that you would like. We just happened to pick this one. But without this set and without the player actually holding this, you won't be able to open the inventory for Bloom Tycoon and get to your items that you can place. Next is the user interface. This one is the in-world UI that lets you know whether or not you can place a prop. And we actually provide you with the blueprints you need for this right here. Here's the box object green that tells you if it's okay. We have the red with the cross that tells you no. Those are the ones that we're utilizing. You can make your own, or again, you can just take what we built and use it yourself. Now coming down here, we have no build zones, persistence, and grid clusters. No build zones are volumes you can set that tell the system whether or not they can actually place an object here. And looking at the no build zone, you can see this is really just a volume. And the volume says if you're inside this volume, you can't build. So if you have it set, it will block you from being allowed to build. And we've actually provided a custom LEGO Grid build zone and no build zone right here, some area markers with a special material so that you can see them better inside the editor so you can kind of see what you're doing. So you can use these again, or you can create your own volumes, up to you. If the grid device is the backbone, then the entity manager is the definitions of everything. So it's the reference point that we use to get all of our data. So I'm going to click here to find it in the world, and it's going to take us to our grid entity teaching pod. And looking here, you can see that there's really only two things on the grid entity manager. There's the array of grid entity definitions, and there's the unlock packs. Now, all unlock packs are sets of placeable props that you can unlock through triggers. So you can set a quest, and when the quest is complete, you activate that trigger, and then from there, the player gets more props. So with grid entity definitions, we open this up and you see there's just an array of grid entities. And these are the definitions for the props you'll be placing. So let's pop open index 0 and you can see this is the first plant you can place in the quest for LEGO Bloom Tycoon. And it's called plant MB. Then you have your prop asset, so the actual definition of the prop. We have our height in plates. If you don't know much about how we measure things in the LEGO world, I would again check the documentation. We are also providing a list of all of the prop dimensions in studs and plates with the LEGO Bloom Tycoon, so you can reference that on the docs page. And then from there, we have our solo prop definition and our object definition. The solo prop definition simply contains the X and Y values of the stud sizes, so how long and how wide it is in studs. Now, the object definition has the category, which is just the category you're placing it into. In this case, this is a flower. The grid cell size, so again, this just mirrors this. If this is 6 by 6, then this grid cell size is 6. Whether or not the object can be built on top of, the type of object it is, this is a plant, and then the texture. The texture is 256 by 256 square, and this is the icon that you actually see inside the UI so that your user knows what they're placing. So with all this information, you can place your own custom props. The final thing is the unlock category. Now this is marked as always unlocked. That simply means that this prop will always be available to your player to place. If we pop open index 1, this apple tree, we can actually see that this is tied to unlock category pack 1. So heading down to our unlock packs, we can open index 1 and see that this is pack 1, and it has this trigger assigned right here. And if we jump to the trigger, this is the trigger that fires in order to give them that. So once this trigger has done everything it's supposed to do, set up tree locations, that'll unlock the pack, and your players get access to it. So that's the basics of setting things up in LEGO Bloom Tycoon. I really recommend you start there and then start experimenting by pulling other things in. We do, of course, have the documentation for you to reference, but we are so excited to see what you create with this system. Good luck and have fun.